AITA for confronting my dad's secret girlfriend at his funeral, after she showed up uninvited and tried to speak. My dad died in March. He'd been secretly seeing another woman for 3 years, a fact I discovered from the eulogy notes she submitted to the funeral home without telling our family. My father died on a Tuesday morning in March after a short illness. He was 64. He was, as far as I knew, a faithful husband of 37 years and a devoted father of 3. I discovered, on the day of his funeral, that I had been wrong about at least one of those things. We had arranged a traditional funeral. Family only, followed by a service open to friends and colleagues, followed by a private burial. My mother was devastated in the specific way you are devastated when the person you have built your entire adult life with is suddenly gone. She hadn't left the house in the week between his death and the funeral. I had been managing everything: the arrangements, the notifications, the catering, the flowers, the liaising with the funeral home. The day before the funeral director called me to go over the order of service. She mentioned that a close friend of the family had submitted a eulogy and wanted to know if they were on the confirmed speakers list. The name was not someone I recognized. I asked the director to send me the submitted eulogy. She did. It was 3 pages long. It described a 3-year relationship. It described weekends away. It described my father's hands and the way he laughed and his habit of leaving notes on the kitchen counter of her flat. It described a man I recognized completely in every specific detail, located inside a life I had no knowledge of. I did not tell my mother before the funeral. I could not. She was barely standing. I made that decision and I make no apologies for it. The woman, I will call her Janet, arrived at the church. I recognized her from a photo in the eulogy document. I approached her before she could reach my mother and I said quietly, "I know who you are and I have read what you submitted. You were not on the speakers list. You will not be speaking today. I am asking you to leave." She said she had a right to be there. She said she had loved him. I said my mother had loved him for 37 years and was standing 12 feet away and did not know this woman existed, and I was asking her again to leave. She left. I told my mother 3 weeks after the funeral. That conversation was the hardest thing I have ever done. Am I the asshole? Update 4 months later. My mother is in grief counseling, which she was already attending for the loss of my father. She now has additional material for those sessions, which is one way to look at it. She says some days she is grieving 2 things at once: the man she lost and the version of him she thought she knew, and that the second grief is stranger because it has nowhere clean to land. Janet sent a letter to our family home 2 months after the funeral. It was addressed to my mother. My mother asked me to read it first. I did. It was, genuinely, not a cruel letter. It expressed condolences. It said she hadn't known about us, she had known my father was married, but she said he had told her the marriage had been over for years. My mother read it after me. She sat with it for a long time. My mother said, he told her the marriage was over for years, and I was the one who didn't know it was. I have thought about that sentence every day since she said it. Janet and my mother have not had direct contact beyond that letter. I don't know what my mother wants from any of this. I don't know what closure looks like when the person who could give it to you is gone. I do not regret turning Janet away at the church door. I was not protecting my father. I was protecting my mother, and she was the person who deserved it. NTA or ITA, was I right to turn her away? Comment below.